Hey everybody, 7:47 in the morning, getting ready to head to the clinic for an MRI. I'm using like a $15 JVC high definition camcorder that's like really feels so really cheap and light. So I'm just testing it out. I don't think it's going to work anywhere near as well as the other ones. Actually, the reason I got this one because it came with like 3 adapters, and it came with a low pro camera bag that was worth more than what this camera was worth. Just the bag was worth $35, and I paid $15 for the camera, the bag, and like 2 5-volt adapters and one for the camera actually, and it came with like a Nikon battery, lithium-ion battery too. So it was just so strange that all these different things was in this bag with this camcorder, which is why I thought it was a good deal. I didn't think the camcorder was, because it's I didn't expect it to be like really sharp. But I'll see you when I get to the clinic. I'll turn it back on. Okay, I'm here. It's a little bit lighter. How many minutes went by? It says 7:56 here, so how long did it take for me to get here? I only got stopped at I got stopped at one light on the way. I'll add this to the video I do later today. The lighting's all not that great. I think it's supposed to rain today, so we'll see. Alright, let's give it about 2 more minutes and then I'm going to head in. The lady they must have called me 6 times in the last 2 weeks, making sure I was going to show up for this, so I don't know what's going on with them. They're not having a lot of people having MRIs or something, and they're trying to push for patients to make sure they get through with it or what have you. But can you hear me? This doesn't have the microphone thing on it. She kept saying, yeah, make sure you show up at 8:15. So she don't even get here till 8 o'clock. And then it takes like 30 minutes to warm up the MRI machine. So it didn't, I learned the last time, it doesn't pay to get here early, like for a regular appointment. So I'll give it 2 more minutes and then I'm going to head in. I'll start walking in. You know, of course it's going to be busy because everybody else is showing up at about this time. At 8 a.m., kind of like how everybody's got to be at work, right? At 9. Between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning, there's this big rush of people. Or over at the hospital, I think the shifts there start 6 and 7 or something like that. And if you're ever driving toward the hospital, you'll notice that between like 5:30 and 8 in the morning, there's just like this deluge of people going up 98 toward the main hospital. And I imagine that's kind of like what it is here. But the lady ain't even going to show up till 8 o'clock. And then I think last time she told me they had to warm the machine up or something. But you know they got to give you an IV and put in your contrast for the second part of the test. So 7:59. As soon as it hits 8, I'm going to head on in. I just got this camera yesterday from Goodwill. $15 or $17, and I bought it, I told you before, for the bag and the adapters that came with it, because I knew they didn't belong to the camera. And so I probably got about $50 worth of stuff for $17. Not bad deal if you know what you're doing. That's what I look at. I look closely at the pictures, kind of like those red, green, and blue lights I use in the bedroom. Those, they didn't know those were RGB, and I had to zoom in on the picture to see that faint description of RGB on it. Alright. Is it going to turn over to 8 o'clock? Maybe eventually, right? I love you guys. I'll see you when I come out. Let you know how it's going. Bye. I can find the button. What time was the last video? I don't think it's imprinting the time. 9:23 now. It's about 8 o'clock when I went in there. They took me right away, so probably about 8:20. 8:20, I was in the MRI machine, or getting ready to go in. 20, 30, 40, 50. So probably about 50 minutes, because I just came out, literally. I gotta tell you, it's getting harder and harder to take a breath and hold it while in there. I want to say the last time, I don't remember having this trouble, but you have to take a breath and hold it, and it's I think she was only doing 17 seconds for me, but it was starting to get difficult. And of course you can feel the heat from the machine on your back, and being in that little slim tube, it gets to be trying. And if you live long enough, you guys, you're going to find out for yourselves, right? Or even if you don't, you could end up being young and having to go through them. Because I do remember going through them when I was younger. It was a lot easier. These last 3 times in the last year, this is my 3rd one. The last one before this, I don't think I had this trouble. The one before that's the one where I squeezed the bulb and had to come out. It's like I had an anxiety attack or something. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And of course your bones start aching and your elbow hurts and you want to move your wrist and you're just not comfortable. You're just not used to sitting still for so long. And thank goodness that after they do the contrast, it's only about 10 minutes and you're almost done. But that's it from here. I'm going to head on to the house, and we'll pick this up in a little bit once I get some refreshment, and maybe go sit in the backyard if it's not reading. If it's not raining. See you at home. I'm home. I'm going to have to, if this camera works out okay, I'm going to have to Velcro it to the dashboard like it is now so that I can talk while I'm driving to give you a different perspective. Of course, my battery's down 2 bars. I don't think this thing's been charged since forever. I'm home, 9:33, so what, 10 minutes to get there, 10 minutes to come home. And we'll pick you up on another camera. Maybe inside, maybe outside, we'll see. Doesn't look like it's gonna rain quite yet, but it definitely looks like rain sometime today. I love you guys. See you in a little bit. See you a little bit on the other camera. Sorry, now I've got hiccups. I stretched out the Joby, and the camera came out perfect on the bubble level. It's just a little bit low. Cut the top of my heads off. It's a tad bit windy and gray as all get out today. Thanks for going along with me to the clinic. I try to take you along with me whenever I go someplace like that, especially since I got so many cheap camcorders. Got 2 JVCs now that were really cheap. One's a little better than the other. They put out sufficient video that's okay, better than nothing. Thinking of putting one by the door so that in the event Stephanie or I need one really quick to get video of a neighbor stabbing somebody or something, and so we can run out and start recording it. Because a phone is okay for something that's like a policeman confronting you or something, but for something the next door or down the street, you really got to have some sort of zoom, right? Yeah, I got a little bit of tree behind me. This is the HFM 300. The last 2 days I think I used the M40. I was really pleased with the video from that camera. It's one with the HD CMOS Pro. This just says HD CMOS on it. But I'm happy with all of the video from these Canon cameras. And so far I haven't had to use any of them for a webcam other than the one in the bedroom. That's the HFS 200, and that puts out excellent video. Can you hear the wind? I got a piece of foam on top of this. Should cut down on it a little bit. Not much planned today. I really had a hard time getting through that MRI, you guys. I asked the lady, as I get older, it's getting harder and harder for me to hold my breath. Is it possible to have an oxygen, you know, just one of those nose oxygen tubes to make me feel like I'm not suffocating? And she said that it has to be a prescription, and you have to bring it in there while you're on it, I guess. So as I get older, I might have to ask for that. But we'll see what happens. Usually this comes out by lunchtime. There's a radiologist that's a doctor who specializes in reading these and x-rays. And because it's digital, they can transmit it to the main clinic or to some other state if they wanted to, where a doctor could look at it. And of course I get like a $450 bill from him for just looking at it. And then he writes kind of like a autopsy report. He writes a description of the results, you know, about such and such was contrast, such and such for whatever, and that this was observed, that was observed. And here comes the sun. Doo-doo. Just a tiny little hole in the cloud right there, and it's getting ready to disappear. Watch. Are you gonna disappear? There it goes. What can we do? You can only do so much, right? This was the storms that went through Texas and Louisiana last night and spawned some tornadoes. Spurned? You spurned a lover, but you don't spawn a lover, right? They spawned some tornadoes. So I have to think of some other stuff that I can video, like maybe get my neighbor's approval and I'll do some interviews with him or something. And just to shake things up a little bit. It's been over a year we've been doing these, you and I. So I'm actually very well pleased. If tomorrow I found out that I was terminally ill, I would be so relieved that I left these videos, at least one for every single day, that my grandkids can look at and watch, and maybe start the day or end the day or what have you. I probably should have gotten more into being a positive, uplifting video, right? Like trying to do inspirational videos. I can remember at the beginning when I started, I was reading from a script. You guys remember that? And I was doing about the events of the day, talking about stuff like that. And we'll see if it rains and chases me into the carport. I took two Xanax tablets, 0.25, and it's just nothing for me. I'm going to have him give me something stronger next time, because it just is not working. The Xanax is not working. Probably because of age, maybe my weight. And let's see, my electric bill is $167.69 this month. So I'm absolutely delighted. So I've been running the air. You heard the air come on a little earlier. I find that I can breathe better in the house when the air is cycling on and off. And I don't think it has to do so much with the moisture or humidity, but I think that the air conditioning system, I have a MERV 8 filter, and it's filtering out dust and dander and stuff like that. The higher the MERV, the more it filters, but it also makes a constriction on your AC unit. And where you run into problems with that is if the airflow is constricted enough or restricted enough, it'll start freezing up in the attic. And it'll look like it's low on Freon, but it's not. So I think these high efficiency filters may not be the best thing going, if you know what I mean. They just restrict the airflow just a little bit too much. But the MERV 8, the MERV 5s, still it's dust, dander, and mites and things like that, and it lets a lot of air past the filter so that it's not choked. But the more it's been filtering, the more I've been running it, the better I've felt in the house. Of course, laying in that MRI machine, started feeling like my throat was getting congested like it is now. So I had to tilt my head back like this to see if I could breathe a little bit better. It's not a big deal when you're younger. I think you probably have a much easier time. Back in 2009, I went through a series of cardiac tests the city put me through due to the heart-lung case. And they did some sort of scan of the heart, literally of the heart, where you're strapped down to a table. And it's like an MRI machine, but it only circulates around your heart, around the center of your chest. And it's not encased in a tube. So it's like this ball thing that flies around you. And what I remember about that is your arm had to be up like this, over your head or hooked to the side or something, because your arms couldn't be down at your side. And I remember after about 30 minutes, my shoulders ached so bad. So eventually I'm going to have to ask myself, do I really want to go through this? You know, how much more do they have to put you through this when really nothing's happening? Not feeling any better. And he keeps scheduling me for tests, but doesn't do anything to help me feel better. And I'm not like Uncle Joey. I'm not trying to get oxycodone or benzodiazepams or anything like that. You know, I want him to find out what's wrong and then help me to feel better, right? The old doctor I had was very good at that. He's the one that started me on antidepressants in 1998 or 99. I mean, the general practicing doctor started me on that, and then I was referred to a psychiatrist. And then the clinic, I guess, fired all their psychiatrists. I had to go somewhere else. I actually followed the same psychiatrist over to Dr. Phillips in Orlando. From there, he went to a place in Winter Park, which was that's like North Orlando. It's kind of like Miami. Have you ever been down to Miami or Orlando? Winter Park runs right into Orlando. Runs right into Sanford. It's like they're all connected, but yet one city stops and another city takes over. In Miami, it's like that. There's North Shore, Key Biscayne, Miami Beach, North Miami Beach, Miami, and all the cities, you know, bump up against each other. You literally cross the street and you're in a different city. But why was I talking about that, you guys? I'm going to put those other videos before this one. And I think you'll see that they don't, that camera just doesn't work all that great, like inside the car. It's okay for, I guess, having a camera that you're not afraid of losing or getting smashed or something. Like keeping it out on the front porch for emergencies. And of course the stabilization like these Canons have is nowhere near as good. It does have a 40 magnification on the optical zoom, which is out of this world. But by the time you zoom in on 40, you gotta have it setting on something because it's too shaky. Let me show you what the sky looks like, guys. Nice gray sky. Beautiful gray sky. That's where the sun should be. That's where the sun came out a little while ago, right where that tree is, the corner. There was one little blue spot where the sun shined through. Look how fast they're going, too. Isn't that something? I should be able to just sit this down. And it should be back to where I was. Yes. Yes, like Aunt Nana used to say with the Nanesian girls, right? Yes. 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 The perfect double level's not perfect, but it's pretty darn near. Pretty darn near perfect, by golly Wally. I'm still thinking I'm going to keep friendly TV because this morning 32.2 didn't come in at all. You know, literally at 3:30 in the morning when I turned it on, nothing. And then sometimes it'll just come out perfect. And it's not the reception. The reception is great. There's some sort of radio interference from a cell phone tower or something. You guys can't see the box that's shining on my head. One of these days I'm going to leave all the information on here so that you can see what I see. As far as the meter, it shows that my voice is working. And yeah, my voice is working. La 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 la. But hope everybody's doing okay. You grandkids out there, you better be behaving. Okay, I would never suggest that the popo's going to come for you. They're probably going to come for your parents if they don't act straight, right? If they don't raise you right, popo's going to come for mama and papa. So kind of like Angel telling me that they're going to throw me over the wall at the nudist colony. When I said, let's get Angel and throw her over the wall at Avida to the nudist colony, and everybody will point at her and say, look, there's a kid without clothes on, get her, quick. Or with her clothes on. And then Angel, she's such a smart aleck, she goes, no, Daddy, we're going to grab you and throw you over the wall into the nudist colony. And then everybody would be chasing me around. Well, you know what? That's the right thing to say, Angel, because you know that puts things in a different perspective. When you said that, you know, I imagined getting thrown over the wall into a nudist colony with clothes on and having that actually happen. And then I thought, yeah, why would I even suggest to throw my kids over the wall into the nudist colony? You're just trying to be funny, but that's not funny, is it? That's not funny at all. But those were the days. I just wish you guys could have lived with me the whole time. And if we had stayed there, if she had kept that property, I probably would have still been living there and actually working there, raising cows. I would have loved to have like an acre or two of vegetables, maybe have a little farm going on one part of that. But for reasons only God knows, that was not meant to be. And did get me closer to you guys, to my work. It really helped out as far as how much I was paying for gas to drive back and forth. And being so much closer to church. Isn't that nice? the St. Joe's downtown. My favorite place in the whole world back then. But some of the best of times living in that apartment. And then later in the trailer. You know, the rent at the trailer park was $385, and it's well over $600 now. $600 a month. A couple of years ago it was something. I bet you it's $900 a month to live there now. If I ever get back to work, I'll be surprised at the minimum wage. It's like $15 an hour, and everybody's having to offer people $16, $17 an hour to go work for them. If it comes down to that, if I ever get the chance. Feeling good enough to go to get a part-time job. Well, that's about it today. I'm just glad to get that MRI over with. You know, it's like a week before I'm worrying about it. And then last night I'm waking up. And then the next thing you know, time flies. It arrives and then it's over. Just like that. Kind of like me looking at my dad's window. Parked in the parking lot of the nursing home, looking back toward, you know, he was down on that end of that hallway, right? And I could see his window, and I thought to myself, Jim, one day you're not going to be coming here anymore. You know, he'll be gone, and all this will just be a memory. And for whatever reason, when I said that, burned into my mind, me sitting there and looking at that window. And I think I took a picture of that too, you guys, of that, the outside of his window. And sure enough, the time came and passed. We didn't have to go there anymore. I didn't have to go there. Not that it bothered me. It really gave me a reason to get up and go to church in the morning, to have a schedule of things to do, you know. What do you call it? You have a routine. I would go to the Publix after church and get them a piece of pie or a Danish or something. Actually, I'd get myself a cherry Danish. And I'd get my dad a piece of apple pie that comes in those little tiny plastic things. And whatever else my dad would like. Sometimes I got him the McDonald's apple pies. He loved those. But routines. It's all about routine. And of course, moving to here, I was able to go to St. Joe's in the morning on my day off and actually start working there. You guys remember that? You guys were there when I worked there. I wonder if you remember any of that. I think we're at 20 minutes. Thanks for spending time again with me today, for going with me to the clinic. It means a lot. Thank you so very much. Everybody better be good. You grandkids better be good and better be nice. Because Santa will find out who's naughty and nice. You parents out there, you better be nice to those kids or I'm going to come back. This is for you future people, okay? I love you guys. Please take care of yourselves and each other and your furry friends. And may we be reasonably happy in this life, supremely happy forever in the next. See you tomorrow, good Lord willing. The house don't float away. They had some bad tornadoes, according to the news I saw. Bye, you guys, not around here. Bye. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'm thinking about you. Every single day, I'm looking at you through the lens and I'm thinking about you. So know that you're loved and know that somebody cares and know that somebody thinks about you.